I see it. We are live. What's up, guys? Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys.
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, Jesse and me both, huh? I'm sorry?
It's the chair.
It's the chair. It's this place, this location. It just makes us lose our voice or have to clear our throats. I'm sorry. So, Bill Lockwood is one more reason, along with Jesse Lee Peterson, my dad, Donald Trump, and Bill O'Reilly, and Sheriff Joe Arpaio, even though he's not a boomer, that I love boomers. Boomers are so cool. Because it's true. Let me give you a boomer take. Socialism is evil. Isn't that a boomer take? But yeah, it's so true. And tomorrow on the American Liberty with Bill Lockwood, Jesse Lee Peterson is appearing. And that's why you saw that thumbnail with Jesse Lee Peterson and this socialist fist. This is a socialist fist. Beta fist, really. With the I'm showing, if you're not watching the show, I'm showing my socialist fist, black power fist, beta fist, commie fist. It outlined in yellow with a red background like a flag or something. Socialism is evil, anti-God, anti-Christian, anti-America, anti-white, anti-men. It's female thinking. It is. But Bill Lockwood is going to cover that today, along with Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse does outside interviews. He appears on other people's shows in addition to inviting people on his show. So that's cool. Looking forward to it. I like to catch it when I can. American Liberty with BillLockwood.com. You click on the American Lib Radio, something like that, AmLib Radio, and you scroll down and you find newstalk1290.com for the Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Central Time, because he's out of Texas, based in Texas. If you're in the Wichita Falls or Abilene or Lubbock area, you can catch it on the radio, terrestrial radio. Yeah, Brandon Johnson says, Hake got a porn bot super chat yesterday. I know. I was like, what? I couldn't tell if it was like a real one, a real person's super chat, and they were just having a trolley type of a name, or if it was a real porn bot. Because over in YouTube, we get these donation messages. I'm explaining this for the boomers. Because I do have boomers who listen to my show, and I appreciate that. Donation messages, they're called super chats. And on YouTube, they're called super chats. On DLive.tv, which is another video platform, they're called diamonds or ninjaginis or ninjets. And so they're learning how to support a good show. That's cool. Hey, might as well give money, right? So, yeah, Jesse Lee Peterson appears on Bill Lockwood tomorrow. I usually go to the newstalk1290.com and listen to it on Saturday mornings because it's 9 a.m. my time, Pacific Daylight Time, and catch it there. He may be getting a podcast going. He's been on the radio for years. Both Jesse Lee Peterson and Bill Lockwood and all that. They've been going on each other's shows since before I was born. No, I'm playing because I don't know if Jesse did radio back when he was in his 20s or whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of respect for Malkuth X's advice, I'm gonna get right to calls, but I do want to get to a little bit of news. They're recommending face masks now. It sounds like the White House might even. Did you guys read the super chat where they said on the Jesse Lee Peterson show where they said, "Don't do the James, stop putting the H in the white so much, emphasizing it so much." I don't think we read the super chats yet, but the White House, it sounds like Trump may start recommending that, or at least the administration, whatever. I have pictures of L.A. Mayor Garcetti looking like he's halfway on the way to Antifa, becoming Antifa, wearing a black face mask where it covers your nose and mouth and chin. It looks like Cobra Commander almost. That's a G.I. Joe reference. Gen X. But, and I have a little bit more detail, too, about this One America News Network. It's a conservative, generally truth-telling outlet, which makes it distinct from all the liberal media, getting banned from the White House press briefing room, not by the White House. They were invited back by the White House. And I have other cool things for you. Maybe even I may even share my favorite Bible verse growing up with you guys today. But first, let me get to some calls. Wow, I have some cool calls right away. My second favorite caller, Earl from Michigan. Hey, Earl.
Hola.
Hola.
James. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
What I want to get to, which I lost my train of thought talking on a Jesse Lee Peterson show.
Yeah.
I wanted to address Joel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's welcome on my show. You can address Joel.
Okay. When it comes to the Jim Crow era, I suggest that he just refrain from commenting since he knows nothing about it, and all he can go off of is what Jesse Lee Peterson says, and he piggybacks off of his comments as if he knows what he's talking about. If you don't know anything about it, it's best not to comment because you make yourself look like a fool when you find out a lot of things you're saying.
Oh, what did I say about it?
Fact.
Can you give me an example? What did I say?
I can't remember the exact things you say, but it was back to, did you back Jesse Lee Peterson? What do you know about the Jim Crow era?
Well, you got to ask me a specific question, and I'll give you an answer. Because I
You comment on it when Jesse Lee Peterson talked about that certain things didn't happen during the Jim Crow era.
Well, I was probably commenting it from a common sense point of view, opposed to me being in the situation. So you'd have to ask me again what the situation was so I can back it up.
If you can't remember what Joel said about it, what makes you think that you remember the Jim Crow era properly anyway, Earl?
I'm saying
the older you get, the worse it got. Kind of like the fish. Way back in the day, I used to catch fish this big. What?
Are you going to let me talk?
Yeah.
I said when Jesse talks about as if he was the singular person in the Jim Crow era, how life was and what did or did not happen, and then Joel comes along and comments as if he knows what Jesse's saying is true and making comments on it, people who know better are able to criticize and correct him. That's my point.
Well, you can still make a comment from common sense and understanding of what common sense is. So
you're making a comment from ignorance. It can be common sense if you know what you're talking about.
Hey, Earl.
But if you say something that didn't happen that you know about, common sense goes out the window.
No, that's not exactly true. But were you born in Jim Crow?
Yes, I was born in Jim Crow.
Which state?
I know about it.
What state?
And so forth. It don't matter. Jim Crow was practiced in Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, South Carolina,
Arkansas doesn't have an S sound at the end of it. Just correcting. Hey,
Well, you
Earl,
can be funny if you want
I got news for you. You may not be aware of this, but it's a free country. Joel can say what he wants.
Thank you.
I'm saying, I know you can say, but I'm saying from a common sense point of view, talk
But
what
how do
you
you?
know.
But how do you
You don't
know?
care about him. Wait a minute. Earl is the same one who says Joel dancing around in his tutu, right? Aren't you the one who said something about tutu? You don't care about Joel looking like a fool. You want him to look like a fool. So you're just saying that to shut him,
No,
so
you've
that he
been trying
shuts
to
up.
defend it based on
nice
nothing.
catch.
Nothing you said
You don't
is factual. You're just deflecting.
You don't
I'm saying
love Joel.
What he's talking about in the Jim Crow era is phony.
But how do you? But how do you discredit? You're getting. But Earl.
What Jesse said.
Earl.
Who doesn't know what he's talking about?
Earl,
He can't talk about what people in Mississippi experience, or people in Arkansas, or people in South Carolina, or people in Missouri, or people in Tennessee, or people in all over
Okay,
the
we
South,
get the point,
even in
Earl.
Alabama. He doesn't know all the experiences
real
of
quick,
folks.
because
So,
Earl, okay, listen real quick, because we got the point that you were trying to say. So, how do you see that? How you're discrediting Jesse for what he knows, or you're trying to discredit Jesse for what he knows, but then he can't discredit for you for what you know.
no, I'm discrediting Jesse for what he says he knows.
Right, but then why are you automatically discrediting it as false, but then get mad when he discredit you as what you say as false? What makes you believe that you ain't the one with the foolery?
Yeah.
Because he's saying anybody that disagrees with him doesn't know what they're talking about. When he says something like what happened in Jim Crow era didn't happen, he's saying anybody that says it did happen didn't know what they're talking about because he lived in the Jim Crow era.
You know,
Therefore, he discredits anybody that says any different. Do you agree with that? Do you think he can tell what other folks experienced in the Jim Crow era because he didn't?
Hey, Earl.
I'm not saying that he can say that everybody had the same experiences as him, but the point is.
That's what he said.
Okay, well, I'm not saying I agree with that, but the point is, you discredit, but you discredit him as if what he's saying is a lie.
Well, that's a blatant. That's common sense.
Earl,
Can you tell anybody?
Earl, you said you know.
You said nobody
Hold on.
experienced something.
No.
Listen.
No. You listen. You listen.
Oh, shut up! Trying to be bossy.
Whatever.
Nobody don't care about you trying to beat.
Don't try to ban Bossy.
Little punk.
Whoa, dang. Well, so what if I am a punk?
There's two of us here, Earl. Don't get jumped.
I'm Gen X. Punk rock is cool for our generation. So,
Earl,
Earl, I have somebody
who
who wants to talk to you. But first, before I put him on with you, you said you know about it. I noticed you choose your words very carefully. That means that you didn't maybe you didn't experience it yourself. You only know about it. This Jim Crow stuff.
No, what I do know, I lived it. I know about it.
What state? What state?
That lived it.
Then how come you have to add the family part in?
So I don't. When I say something, I'm saying it from experience and other folks' experience. When somebody
don't
says
speak for other folks.
Happen,
anyways, let me put Mark from Canada on with you. He wants to respond to you, Earl. Mark.
Okay, go ahead.
Mark. Hey, James, how are you? Hey, Earl, how you doing?
Wow.
How you doing, Mark?
Mark gets around.
All is well. Hey, Earl, have you heard of an argument from an authority?
Say again? Have I heard
of an argument from an authority?
Yeah, I've heard people saying an argument from somebody who's an authority on something, supposed to be an expert or something, or someone with knowledge. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like if someone says the Bible says this and the Bible says that, so you're not allowed to do that, right? The authority is the Bible, right? Do you agree?
Well, I don't know if you're not allowed to do that. What are you trying to get at? What do you mean you're not allowed to say?
You're making an argument from an authority. You're saying that Joel, for example, doesn't get to say what makes sense to him because you were there. You lived it. So you therefore have an authority over him.
No. No, what I'm saying is, if you're saying something that you have no knowledge of, but trying to present it as if you do, and that is factual, that it needs to be checked.
Can I say something?
Now, are you saying you can start anything that comes in your head?
But Earl,
whether you know it or not?
the last thing.
You just said that you've experienced, though, so you are making an argument from an authority. You are saying that he doesn't have a right to speak and say what makes sense to him and what doesn't
No, I
make
didn't
sense to him.
say. I gave a suggestion that if you don't know what you're talking about, just say you don't know what you're talking about.
But
you don't have to.
I don't think.
I never heard
thinking
Joel.
that. You're thinking that I'm just.
You know
I did
nothing
not
about.
hear a vague suggestion about people should not talk about what they don't know. You said that Joel specifically should not talk about specifically Jim Crow because you were there, and that is an argument from authority.
That Earl, that's like you're saying.
The point was.
Hold on, Earl. Hold on, Earl.
Earl.
Hold on. Let Joel speak.
Earl, it's like the point that you're trying to make, Earl, is like if somebody doesn't read the Bible, they can't have an opinion about God. It's like what you're saying.
No.
It's like if I don't know the Bible, then I don't know truth. That's basically what you're saying.
I'm saying if you're talking about something you have no knowledge of, haven't researched, hadn't did anything,
right?
And then make comments on it, you should refrain from it.
Because you can have a no. That doesn't make any sense because you can have a common sense about something. Just like if you ain't never read the Bible.
Where's the common sense coming from?
If you don't ever read the Bible,
the situation. Where's your information coming from?
If you don't ever read the Bible, you can still know the truth.
That's right.
Thank you.
In your face.
Molded.
If somebody says, eye for an eye, or you should give to the poor, somebody can have an opinion on that. They can be like, well, I don't think that's right, or yeah, I think that's right. They don't need to just say, because the Bible says it, it's true, or because someone who was alive during Jim Crow, they win automatically. That is an argument from an authority.
Well,
so my point is,
you do
have experience.
When your teacher tells
but
you,
it doesn't give you a right to silence
and the
people.
teacher says from authority that 2 + 2 is 4, then you say, well, she shouldn't say that because somebody disagrees? People talk from authority because they know
Sure, people can disagree and say 2 + 2 is 5, but they'd be wrong.
That's right.
But we're not talking about factual things. We're not talking about factual things. We're talking about what was Jim Crow like. And fundamentally, you're saying Jim Crow was terrible, and fundamentally, Joel is saying that what Jesse says makes sense to him, and it makes sense to me too. And I don't have to have been there to have it to be allowed to have an opinion on something
that happened. A lot of things, just like you say, racism didn't exist, and I bet you didn't know about the black laws. Black codes and the Jim Crow era, or the peonage system, or none of the things
about
that
the thousands of black slave owners?
Huh?
Did you know about the thousands of black slave owners?
I know there were black slave owners.
Did you know that they were some of the most ruthless slave masters? Did you know that?
Who were the predominant slave owners in America?
The predominant people.
No,
it wasn't Democrats.
What race was the Democrat? Don't play games.
You're playing games by putting it as race.
I'm not playing games. I'm telling you that factually it was not white people enslaving black people. It was not about race.
You're all a Democrat, a political party.
Did you know that? Did you know that Irish people came over by the hundrends of thousands in indentured servitude?
Yes,
Did you know that? Did you know that they outnumbered the blacks? Did you know that? I don't think you knew that, Earl.
The history of the Irish.
And you don't know anything about slavery anyway, Earl? You were born in 1900s. You don't know anything about slavery?
You won't even say what state you were.
You didn't even experience slavery, Earl. You can't comment on it.
You didn't go through segregation. You just happened to be alive at the same time.
You make yourself look like a fool when you talk about slavery, Earl, because you didn't even experience it.
Yeah, you're trying to make a moot point, James? Or you said slavery didn't exist?
No, it doesn't exist today, at least not in America.
California, where were you?
Except when you...
Hawaii, where were you?
Thank you.
That's none of your business.
Yeah, well, there's only one reason you're not answering that.
Where were you?
There's only one reason you're not answering that, and it's because you were not in the South and you did not experience it. And your argument is flawed.
Anyways, guys.
My life is none of your business. But then again,
none of your business. This is like a Bible thumper. That's in the Bible. This is an argument from an
Joel's family came from Louisiana.
Thank you.
Now.
Go ahead. Say again.
I said Joel's family came from Louisiana, Earl, and what's so bad about it anyways? Anyways, Earl, you don't know about common sense. You're a Democrat.
Who said came from Democrat?
Earl, stop hating white people for no reason.
Yeah.
It makes no difference.
Earl, you're getting righteously jumped right now.
What, you're Democrat? Or what? What does that have to do with anything?
It just means that you don't have common sense.
You're saying white people enslaved black people, and that's not true.
Who did?
You did.
No, you had nothing to say, you stupid idiot.
All right, Earl, you gotta go.
Earl, you're digging yourself a grave, my friend.
I said white folks practice slavery in America. Did they not?
Boo-hoo.
That is super vague. And black people practiced slavery back then, and they're practicing slavery today. They haven't stopped. We did.
Yeah, how come you don't talk about them? How come you don't talk about them, Earl? How come you don't talk about them?
Black people practiced slavery back then, and black people are practicing slavery today. It hasn't changed in Africa. It has changed here.
Oh, humanity practiced slavery back then.
All right.
That is true. That's true. That's absolutely true.
All right, Earl, gotta go. Nice talking with you, man.
Who stopped it and who continues it?
First people stopped it was the British.
The whites.
Then the Spanish.
The whites.
Really? Everybody fought a civil war, just like in the United States to stop slavery? I don't think so, Earl.
If you listen to the Star Spangled Banner,
Earl,
and you listen to the
elevator's
verse,
ringing.
which they never sing, it will tell you that the Americans who still wanted to hold slavery,
I gotta go, Earl. Nice talking with you, man. Adios.
And the British, the people, the blacks that deserted to the British,
He's still talking about this.
Freed the blacks.
You have no knowledge of this. You have no experience. I gotta go, Earl.
Shut up trying to be smart aleck.
Adios.
So that's why.
It's not smart aleck. It's wise guy.
And say,
I'm being a cutie. Don't be a cutie pie.
You know all about it, right? Right, James?
Adios, amigo.
Adios, Hitler.
See you, Farrakhan.
Not even baby Hitler, no more.
Wow, nice talking with you, Mark. Appreciate that, man.
You too, James. You too, Joel.
All right, Mark.
All
see
right.
ya.
See you around.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. What a mess. That's Racist gave a diamond and says, Joel can say what makes sense to him. He can speak. Nice. Right on. Philosopher gave a diamond. Appreciate that, man. And let me just read a few of these things, and let me get to T as well. T with his beautiful calls and great points. Kevin Crater says, hey, guys. Nice. Aaron Collins, it's no mistake that the Chinese flag is yellow and red. Bunch of betas. That's right. Socialist betas. You know, I read a news report on Breitbart. I told you guys about this before, that the Chinese government was pushing Marxism. And they even mentioned Karl Marx. What the heck? I heard that Karl Marx was not Chinese. That's what I heard. He was something else. Lin Yan Chin. I did a winky face and I laughed. Lin Yan Chin says quality of life in a population is squared to the degree of white baby engineers versus us non-white people. We need more white baby engineers. Joel Black. Thank you. Cold Burger Art. Hake, you gotta come on Discord and hang with betas and snakes alike at least once a week for 30 minutes and maybe have a Hake's question of the week. Interesting ideas, Cold Burger Art. I appreciate the demands, suggestions. Right on. Matt Kruger says, is it though? Is it a free country, Hake? Very good questions, actually. Well, in this country, we're allowed to pretend, right? Case in point, the transgenders. Everybody has to pretend that Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, is a woman. We pretend. So we pretend we're a free country. No, but we have the spirit. Some people have the spirit of the freedom of speech. President Trump does. He says what he thinks. He says what he believes is right. Jesse Lee Peterson has the spirit of the freedom of speech. And that applies just even in the way that you live your life. So that's cool. Earl doesn't have that. Maybe he does. I don't know. Alejandro Davila says, Earl is a master debater. And Port Man gifted a 1-month subscription to Saved 1818. Appreciate that, man. I saw Saved 1818 sleeping during one of the calls recently. Anyways, let me get to T out of Alabama, and then Sandra, and then my favorite caller, Maze, hopefully. T, it's good to hear from you. What's up?
Yeah, good afternoon, man.
Yeah, you too.
Y'all can't handle
Good
Earl,
morning.
man. Earl makes all the sense in the world. Y'all sound like a bunch of buffoons on the show, man. But let me ask you something, man.
But we're
Y'all
your
guys
buffoons.
let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You, Joel, and also your boy, whatever your screener is, Nick, or whatever his name,
Nicolas.
the Mexican guy from Canada. It's amazing.
Wrong on both points.
that you guys are,
But that's all right.
or wherever he is, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing how y'all guys have been, y'all been trained well by Jesse Lee Peterson,
Thank
the
you.
puppet master,
Right on.
to believe every single thing he said, this and that.
Hey,
y'all
Earl,
know,
everybody's an
y'all
NPC. Hold on. Let me just cut you off there and make my point. Everybody's an NPC for something. NPC stands for non-playable character or something like that. Everybody's an NPC for something. You're either NPCs for Christ or NPCs for the devil. Which do you want to be? We should seek to become NPCs for Christ. Slaves of Christ. Shouldn't we? I mean, I feel kind of silly even using the word Christ. But, I mean, you got to aim to become like a Christian, a real Christian.
Yeah, which you guys are not. Jesse Lee Peterson, just
You don't know.
Chino.
A Chino?
But yeah, like I said, man, Chino. Christian in name only, okay?
Oh.
Christian in name only. Y'all can use that. But anyway, man, y'all, like I said, y'all sit
I call it
back and listen to y'all guys. Jesse Lee Peterson, just make up stuff as it goes, okay? Just make it up.
Your truth is so uplifting, T. I appreciate it.
Yeah. He just makes stuff as he goes. And you know what?
Super
James, I
Soul
appreciate
Sundays
you.
with T.
Yeah.
Super Soul
At least,
Fridays.
I mean, you'll give folks, and I'll give you this credit, man.
All right.
You don't run like your boss did.
Oh,
Okay.
please. I'm going to hang up on you right now for doing that one,
You're
Snake.
not afraid.
This is what the serpent told to Eve. You don't run like Adam ran. I just want to have a reasonable conversation with Adam, and he won't even talk to me. So I have to go to Eve.
Yeah. So, see, that's
Don't
good.
you think?
Like
I mean,
said, you learn
isn't
from
that kind of
Jesse,
like
man.
what's
Just
happening?
get the rambling.
That's exactly what it is.
Hey, Joel, I'm going to ask Joel. Joel, you're a Christian.
I appreciate the flattery, but anyway.
Joel, you're a Christian?
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, you don't sound sure, man. Are you or not?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
You're a Christian. Okay. All right. Are you? You sure?
He's playing Jesse now. He's trying to be a Jesse.
No, I mean, I'm just asking a question,
Yeah.
man, because, y'all guys sit on here and want to talk about it and, act like you guys are the perfect beings on this planet along with your boy Jesse.
Reminds me
and
of that
nobody
white
else,
guy that
like
used to
y'all
call in. Say the same thing about.
Well, I mean, I'm just
say the
saying,
same thing.
y'all
Like he's
sit on your
projecting
show
what we
every
think
day.
about ourselves.
Right.
Just because we
Y'all
talk
sit
about
on your
such and
show
such person
every
is wrong.
day and try to
All of a sudden we
criticize.
think that we're perfect.
You sit on your show
Ridiculous.
every day. I know y'all got this platform and so forth, man. But
All
like I
right,
said,
T,
you sit on
appreciate
your
that,
show
man.
Every day and just run your mouth. Lies don't make no sense about that. Believe everything Jesse Lee Peterson said that come out his stupid mouth.
I know.
Okay, but when folks try to challenge y'all, okay,
And it's
know,
against his advice
how
too.
bored- let me ask you
Jesse
this,
says,
man.
"Don't
Would y'all
believe
like
me.
a
Know
show-
for yourself."
Would y'all like
And
a
you
show with
still
everybody
can't stop
that
us
calls?
from believing him.
Jay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you like a show where everybody that calls in and agree with every single thing you say?
No
Would that be a
way.
good show? Huh?
I
mean,
said
but it
no.
seems like that's what you guys like. Because people that agree with what y'all say, yeah. They can talk all day. Okay.
Well, sometimes they're deep, man. Sometimes they're deep, and
no, they're stupid.
And
they're stupid.
I take no pleasure in saying this, but you're shallow, man. You're shallow.
No, I'm not shallow, James. I mean, it's okay,
no,
man.
It's empty. It's uninspiring. When I called it uplifting, I was totally kidding. It was like opposite day, right? Friday is opposite day.
James.
Yeah.
What you saying, man? What
I'm saying,
T,
that you come in talking about Jesse's a Christian in name only, but you guys are at least listen to me. You don't run, and then you start spouting like criticisms that are just empty criticisms.
Don't y'all do that
in some
every day on
cases,
your show,
maybe it's right.
James,
maybe we shouldn't be.
Do y'all do that every day?
Treating him as an
Don't
authority.
Y'all criticize somebody?
Huh?
Aren't y'all talking about somebody criticizing people and so forth?
Are you jealous? Do you want your own show? You could start your show criticizing us and see who joins.
You go. I just asked you a question. Don't y'all do that on your show?
Yes.
Don't y'all sit on your show every day and judge people?
Right. Yes. Dang straight.
Jesse do too, right?
Jesse, if anybody is allowed to, he is, because Christians will judge the world because they'll judge with right judgment.
Oh, okay.
And they're actually living, and a Christian like Jesse is actually living what he's preaching.
Man, be for real.
I am for real. Anyways.
You sound like a straight out nut, man. Lay it on, James.
What?
Bye.
What did he say? Anyways, all right. See ya. Good to hear from you.
This is dry.
Let's get to my favorite caller. Maze out of Dayton, Ohio. Maze, what's up?
Hello, James. How you doing today?
This gives me the creeps anytime she does a different voice.
How are you today, James?
I'm doing fine. You know, Hot Computer Smell can do a different voice, and it's fun.
Oh, I can too?
No. You cannot.
I guess I can.
No, but it gives me the creeps. But Hot Computer Smell does it. It's charming. It's funny.
Well, I don't like to scare people because I listen to enough scary ones every day. So let me tell you what T was trying to tell Joel. That every time Jesse is talking, he butts in, and he hasn't been there, don't know anything about it, but he butts in with Jesse. That's what he was trying to say. I don't know what the argument was about.
But you guys can't give a solid example because Joel, out of anybody, he has his own. He has kind of his own mind.
Let me give you an example first, James.
He has his innocent mind where he just he doesn't have a preconceived notion, and he's not into politics, so he doesn't get sucked into us versus them type stuff.
Well, he should keep his mouth closed when he's speaking.
No, you can't tell him what to do.
I'm not telling him what to do. I'm saying that's what he was telling him.
It's a free country.
And you got in the wrong conclusion. And those that
no, they couldn't even provide an example. When Earl was just generally talking about, you can't talk about Jim Crow. Nobody remembers what Joel even said about Jim Crow.
Yeah, Joel.
And I can't even imagine Joel making something up. So now,
let me give you an example. They say like the virus now. So you become 80, and your kids, you have to tell them about the story. They didn't live it, but you're telling them about the story. But your friend next door lived it just like you did. So would you want somebody to put it in a book and tell you about it, and then you kind of have a conversation with somebody that lived it? So how did that go? And the one in Canada,
Earl couldn't even say clearly whether he lived it or not.
It'll be just like him describing
He
Canada
added in
to me.
a bunch of.
I haven't been there. I'm gonna have to
people.
take his word and let somebody else that live in Canada can tell me about it.
But even the people, listen, Mace, even somebody who lives it is no authority on what actually happened. Because witnesses
Why they're not, if they were there?
No, because witnesses are unreliable. You can have two people watch the very same thing, and they have totally different interpretations of what happened.
And then when you come to them screaming about slavery,
you have you ever heard of disgruntled workers?
No, James. They were slaves at one time, too. So you don't never get that part. They were slaves at one time, too.
Who?
But they were not beaten, and then they were not split up from their families because they still know their history, and then they carried it with them.
Actually, most slaves...
So the next time you hear one of those people that ran from the classroom speaking like that...
Hold on.
Then they need
I heard from a reliable source. I was listening to the radio show. I think it was Peter Schiff, the money guy. Some of you guys are familiar with him, Peter Schiff. And he looked into it, and he discovered, and this is what he says, right? You can look it up for yourself if you're interested, if you even care, right? That most slave owners did not split up families because they worked better together. In your face, Maze.
And what makes that true? Because you said it.
same thing that makes what you say true because you said
it. You can follow the census to see where they were when they were counting them in the census. You can see where they were moved.
You didn't follow the census, Maze, please.
Who was where. So that broke that book down. That's why I say if he didn't live it, he had no proof, he can come up with anything.
I know, and that's what the liberals do. That's what these
it.
dumb slave movies do.
You're supposed to
just come up with anything.
I look at those too, and those are just like makes no sense.
Thank you.
Just make people upset.
Right.
Because the real deal is not in it.
Yeah.
If you know the real deal, you looking at it. And you know
the real deal is slavery is over. Long gone.
Excuse me?
The real deal is slavery is over, except for in the prisons, chain gangs.
You got some of those that ran from the classroom wanted to come back. It never left.
And then we actually have spiritual slavery today. Spiritual slavery in this country, I would venture to say, is worse than ever.
Huh? You hear us say what the? It's a word that we use instead of saying a bad word in front of our parents. We would say what the, because we know what would happen, and we said we didn't use profanity in front of them. So we use the word what the. It's nothing new.
Oh, I mean, I know that. I heard that in 4th grade from a Chinese guy who was learning English.
Okay.
He's like, what the?
So with that game, I have to go. And then don't come in disgracing a group of people that you don't know.
This is traumatizing.
You have to be in your state.
You have a good day.
Yeah, you see how many you live in your state.
Hold on, Maze. I have a super chat for you. A diamond. That's racist, says Maze. Don't tell other adults they can't speak.
Nobody said no adults couldn't speak, but if you're not telling the truth, somebody should come in and educate you.
You guys don't know about truth. You guys are Democrats. You are pro-abortion.
I have one last question.
Yeah, go for it.
But James said like that, if you ran from the classroom, nobody can explain nothing to you, and they can't educate you on that because you were never in the classroom because you was always running.
Is it true that you allowed?
And a lot of those in Facebook, that's what the pieces are.
Is it true that you let Nick go on the phone with your husband?
Yes, I did. What about it?
Was that today?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. So what about it?
Anyways, go, Sheila.
No, my husband asked to speak to me. And then that one from Montgomery that was calling saying about he hate women too, talking about he is trying to protect women. You are supposed to protect women. You should just say the man and then the woman. So if you put a woman down and you're supposed to be a man, you're weak. And you're not standing up.
It's Joel's turn.
Joel's turn. Stand up for a woman, so you got a weak problem with women.
Maze, question.
What?
So 2 people can't go through the same thing in a different way?
Thank you.
Yes, 2 people can go through the same thing in a way. They can do the same thing and can tell the same story about what happened.
No, because what you and a lot of the blacks do is say, you better not speak on this because you didn't.
No, that's not what.
You didn't experience what I experienced, but then you can experience the same exact thing in a different way. You don't have to be it don't have to be your exact example. Just because
because that's why you got 5 senses. See, touch, feel, and smell, and all that. That's why you got them. Because if you're a blind man, you can't see. So how do they tell? How do they tell where they're going and what they're doing if they can't see and somebody's seeing for them?
Okay, but you're
going by what somebody put in a book. Would you rather for somebody to give you something that was there living it, or somebody to put it in a book?
What you're not understanding though, man, is you're saying that
question, Joel.
You're assuming that it's an assumption that I'm ignorant.
I'm not assuming anything.
You're assuming that it's an assumption that I'm ignorant to something that is revealed to me, but I can have common sense about it. It could just make sense to me.
But do you know if it's true?
In your face.
I can know if it's 100% true.
That it is true, and then where do you go if they can give you proof?
You guys are giving Joel content. You're giving him stuff to rap about.
You're talking about opinion. I'm talking about fact.
What's wrong with the blacks?
But that's subjective. Yeah, apparently, that's subjective, Maze, because you're assuming that I'm having an opinion and your truth is fact.
He was trying to correct you on something, and you took it personally.
All right, Maze. Nice talking with you. You have a good day.
And then when you open your mouth, you want to do
next time we gotta have your husband on air.
Don't come on talking about black people. Have a good one.
Wow. All right. All right. Take care. What a mess. By the way, that's racist, gave a diamond. Slavery is still rampant in Mommy Africa. True. Philosopher with another diamond. Thanks, man. Let me get to Sandra out of Michigan. Oh, shoot. What the heck? Oh. Sandra! It's good to hear from you.
James. Hi.
Hey.
Wow, that's really strange. May sound like she's inhaling helium.
I know. Not good.
It's so frustrating. We're in a global epidemic, And you've got Earl and Mays with the same old rhetoric that we all have to sit and listen to.
Yeah.
Time after time after time. Every time Earl calls in, it's the same argument. I'm sick of listening to it.
Yeah.
But what I'm calling in about is I'm so angry that China has devastated the world. They've devastated the whole global economy. They've devastated lives. They've devastated the whole structure, social structure of countries. And now what they're doing, they're trying to assert themselves as a big humanitarian leadership by now sending masks and equipment to different countries in Europe.
Yeah.
And so now what she's big agenda is to present himself as the big savior of people from the coronavirus. And he's trying to exert himself as the role of the global savior. And so...
it is ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
As you know, it's our fault for opening ourselves up. Well, I say our, I mean like the rest of the world's fault for opening themselves up to this abuse by China.
Right, and being unprepared. But,
Yeah.
as my husband and I were talking, I think it was back in the 80s with Nixon.
Uh-huh.
We opened up China to manufacturing, thinking, if we show them, the benefits of capitalism.
That wasn't Nixon. Was that?
Yeah, I think it was.
Not in the 80s though. Was Nixon was before the 80s.
Was Nixon before the 80s?
Yeah. Yeah, because Reagan was in the 80s. Reagan came in 81, right?
Okay, well then, but it was Nixon who initiated that.
Okay.
And so the point is, it was to create more of an ally and show them the benefits of, capitalism.
I thought he was better than that.
Help their country.
Yeah.
But you're never going to change China, and it's worked against us. So we need to pull every manufacturer out of China and let them just become a third world country again. And even though we have small manufacturers in there that hire cheap labor, and it really helps them financially.
But that's only because we have all these
pulled out.
That's because we have all these oppressive socialist things like unions, and I know some of you guys are pro-union. Just put up with this minimum wage. That's very oppressive, and well, in some cases, the regulations that we have are better because, I guess, than what China has. China has poor regulations. That's how this virus allegedly that's how this virus got out of the lab, because they don't have good systems for protecting from leaking of these diseases.
Well, too, they also knew this in November, and they hid it.
Yeah.
And they had active cases, and the doctor who reported it...
He was suppressed.
And he warned his fellow doctors, hey, this was going on, but the government suppressed it and suppressed him, and he ended up dying of the virus, but I think they probably bumped him off. And actually,
who knows?
But now,
wouldn't be surprised.
This is a quote from the French embassy. The China's French embassy put it in starker terms in a tweet storm. When the epidemic started to explode everywhere, it was China who the entire world asked for help, and not the United States, the beacon of democracy. The embassy said it is China who lent a helping hand to more than 80 nations, not the United States. So, they're sending all these essential masks and different things to Italy and putting on Italian quotes on it and to all different countries all through Europe.
It's just like a commie to cause a problem and then swoop in with the fake solutions.
Right.
And the help. Let me help you. So then you look like the hero when you're the zero. You're the one causing the problem. Mama love. right?
Well, and the Chinese foreign minister is saying China is repaying in kind the help and assistance received from countries earlier. Well, that's a little stab in the back, like, United States, they didn't put sanctions on us, these other countries, as well as bearing the responsibilities of a great power. China has no desire to seek credit.
Well, I think that they know PR is good.
Accusations.
They know that running a good PR campaign is good. Is helpful.
Right, exactly.
Power.
What they want is credit. Like, look how good we are. We're coming to save everybody after we infected everybody.
Yeah. I appreciate the input, Sandra. Good points.
Okay. Well, take care. I don't know what
Same
it's
to
like
you.
there in L.A. I know it's pretty bad, but
it's a ghost town.
safe.
I love it, to be honest.
Bars
are closed.
I have a niece living in New York City, and she said it's just like an apocalypse there.
Yeah.
You know, there's no one on the streets, completely empty. So, anyway,
all right, Sandra. Take care. Have a nice weekend.
James. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Let me get to Gerald out of Texas. In about 8 minutes or so, I'm going to open the treasure chest on dlive.tv/The Hake Report. Hey, Gerald. First-time caller. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, James?
Not much.
I was just calling to see if I could find out what it was Joel said that set Earl off, because he never said what specifically said him off. He just said it was vaguely about Jim Crow. But
Joel,
he said,
do you remember
I want to call about something Joel said.
Yeah. Never ask a black man if he remembers. Do you remember?
I have no idea.
No, Joel didn't. He didn't. Earl didn't say.
Yeah, Earl would never say. Yeah, that's
Earl
true.
don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. And yet he thinks he remembers Jim Crow. He remembers what he was told about it by his family members in the South.
So Earl called and said, "I want to say something about what Joel said. Joel said such and such about Jim Crow." And then he just started talking vaguely about Jim Crow. And y'all said, well, what did Joel say? And he was like, don't worry about it.
Right. I mean, he's older than me. So I cut him a little bit of slack, but you're right. He's mad about something that he doesn't even remember what it was.
No, I'm just
remembers
trying
the
to find out
emotion
what
of
it was that Joel said, because he never said what he said.
Yeah.
He just said what it was about.
Yep.
But that's all I wanted to say, man.
That's
Y'all
true.
doing a good job, man. Y'all keep up the good work.
All right. Appreciate it, Gerald. Nice to hear from you.
All right. Okay.
Take care. How do you say this guy's name? TatFace from New York City.
Catfish.
First time calling. Say it again. Catfish?
Yeah, TatFace. 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 Cause I got tattoos on my face, so I call myself TatFace.
Oh, TatFace, as in tattoo face. Nice.
Yes.
All
yeah,
right.
like a tat and then face.
Right on.
But yeah, you were just talking to that lady. She talking about a lot of people down in the street of New York City. There's a lot of people not listening, and they on the street of New York City, making it worse.
I believe it.
So I don't know what she was talking about. But it's really more like the ghetto people acting stupid, protesting Trump and acting stupid and all that. But I was just calling because I want to know your thoughts about, like, the media lying. How can we stop it somehow? You know what I mean? Like, they're always constantly lying and lying and lying, and you just know they hate the president. And what do you think about that?
I think that the best thing we can do is what the president does, what Jesse does, and in general, just call out say every time that they lie, say that they're lying, and eventually their lies will wear off. You know, there is this this shaming thing that happens where you shouldn't say the liberal media, but you notice that it doesn't stop Jesse from saying the liberal media, right? It's a lot of people start to roll their eyes about something, or there's things that are because of some type of public push, it becomes uncool to say it. But I like how Jesse doesn't back down and other people don't back down, especially these boomers that just don't care. They just say it anyways, and it drives cool people nuts. The liars.
Because I remember when Trump was saying, when he was running for president, he wanted to, like, do some type of law or something where that they can get in trouble because sometimes they are saying the truth. I'm not going to say that they don't, like, even CNN, they lie so much, and they just hate Trump. You can just see it. You feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I just feel like maybe the head people in the world is maybe Democrat or whatever, because for some reason they don't get in trouble, and they should get in trouble because they start a lot of problems.
Very true,
and they make up stories. They make up stories.
Yeah.
Even about New York City, and I'm here in New York City. And I'm seeing mad crazy stuff, and it's just a crazy world, bro.
You know, you're so right. We do need to bring back, they call them libel laws, when somebody libels you that's defamatory in writing, or slander laws where somebody speaks something slanderous about you and you can sue them for it. And Trump wants to bring that back, and I support that because the liberal media is exploitative and totally destructive. They complain about the right-wingers for being so-called conspiracy theorists, but the left-wing conspiracy theories that they push, racism, sexism, Russian collusion, all this stuff.
Yeah, they make up stuff or whatever. And you know what?
And it's hurting the country.
Trump in New York. And in New York City, everybody loved Trump. Rappers love Trump. Everybody loved Trump. Ever since he ran, it became something different. And it's funny because in New York City, I always ask people the main thing: what's the racist thing? Is it?
Yeah.
And 100%, I always hear about the Central Park Five because he made a comment.
Right.
But I'm Puerto Rican, and back then I lived in the hood, and everybody wanted them kids dead.
Yeah.
Everybody, people from the hood, everybody wanted them in Rikers Island or whatever they was at those times or whatever. They wanted to do a whole bunch of stuff, and then now, even though whatever that documentary came out saying a whole bunch of different stuff and all that, but everybody's always focused on the Central Park Five, and it's just anger anyway. It's just always something. And I just realized a lot of Mexican people in New York City hate black people. Black people hate Puerto Ricans, and there's all this stuff that I see and all that. And it's just like they can act like that. I just don't be getting this world, bro.
That is such a good point about the general public opinion about the Central Park Five. I mean, you look at what happened to this woman. She was like, she almost died. She lost so much blood.
Yeah, she couldn't. Yeah, man.
And so so Trump said someone who commits a crime like this should get the death penalty. And so he was thinking that everybody was thinking that they were guilty in general. And you're right. They have this revisionist history where they just single Trump out. Meanwhile, Trump calls out everybody regardless of race or gender.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just what it is that every time he calls out somebody black or something like that, he can call out 199 white people and one black person he called out. They just focus on that. And that's what the media does.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of black officers that killed black and Spanish people.
Right.
And they never put those on the TV. They only put with the whites and stuff like that. And it's the media that's doing this. And that's why I get aggravated because I'm saying to myself, how can that stop?
You know, man.
I don't understand. Like, they creating these problems and dividing the world.
That's what they want, though. They want you aggravated because they like making people angry either by believing them or by disbelieving them. And the people who disbelieve them, they get to label them as conspiracy theorists and white supremacists and terrorists and stuff. But don't get aggravated at it. Just expect it, because that's, like the Bible even says, don't be dismayed or surprised when you see these evil things happening, because they're supposed. Jesse Lee Peterson makes a great point. They're evil, and evil is doing its job. It's time for good to do our job. So don't be overcome with their evil. Overcome evil with good is what the Bible says. And it's true.
Well, just hopefully one of these days that will happen.
Yeah, for sure. Just keep on pushing, and, I think that have no doubt. That's I think that's one of the differences between Jesse and me. I was like, all the millennials and Zoomers. I wasn't aware of the alt-right or the Trump supporters or Trump himself. I thought everybody my age and younger was brainwashed. But sure enough, all these people coming up and have more sense than me in some cases.
It's the same thing with me too, because I felt like I was brainwashed for a lot of years. I used to love Rachel Maddow, NBC, all those shows. I used to always watch it. But when I started, I got a lawsuit, and my life changed. So basically, like when I started like living more like the style that I'm living now and stuff like that, I started like realizing a lot of different stuff, and I was like, damn, I was brainwashed, and I just can't believe. But the thing is, I just feel like when you start getting money in life and you start being a good person, that's when you see it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't see it until then. I don't care who you are. You're just not. You know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting point, man. Well, I appreciate it, TatFace. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah.
Great call.
And listen, my Instagram is TatFace Joker.
TatFace
212 NYC. So if anybody want to follow me.
TatFace Joker.
TatFace Joker.
Joker.
Yeah, TatFace Joker. Joker. 212 NYC.
All right. Right on, man.
Yeah, because I've been on and off Instagram, but I might go back on, so just in case if anybody want to follow me.
Cool. Right on. Well, take care, man.
God bless, bro.
You too.
All right, man. Bye.
All right. That was a great call. You made a great point. He remembers those times with the Central Park Five. Meanwhile, the media just lies. They talk about Trump has a history with black women and with whatever, meaning like calling them out and stuff, because he's not intimidated. That's so cool. Let me get to... Oh, man. I opened the treasure chest, by the way, guys. Shout out, congratulations to Reed Johnson, saved 1818, or 1818, Noah's Arkansas, Grace Face, Tex-Mex, and the rest of you guys. And thank you very much to Silosopher, That's Racist, Vegas something, Vegas Prairie Bear. Wow, that's cool. That's gives a nice visual, right? Daryl Bear, Portman, Polly J, Noah's Arkansas, Beard the Butcher, Flo Shinsky, and Shaggy Boy. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. And thank you to Polly J for all the diamonds and Silosopher. Always supportive. Thank you, guys. I'm going to get to the YouTube Super Chats, but in the meantime, let me get to Kenny out of Idaho. Kenny, what's up?
Good morning.
Morning.
Your a comment about Caitlyn Jenner. Was there something new in the news about?
No, I just brought up Caitlyn Jenner because somebody asked me if we're a free country, and I said we can pretend. And then I said, people pretend that Caitlyn Jenner is a real woman.
Well, since you brought it up as a Christian male, do you see any positive things that could come of either falsely or otherwise people claiming to be the opposite gender? Or how a free country...
I mean, people do evil. People do evil, and God's able to flip it around for good. So I can't see what good would come out of it, other than giving us something to talk about.
But certainly your mind is not closed to the possibility.
You think it's a positive thing to become transgender?
No, I am siding with the founders who said we should have free speech.
Have what?
As much as we may not like what someone says, we support their right to say it. And
yeah, but we don't have to. We don't have to pretend.
That's evil. I'm sure Caitlyn doesn't think that's evil on his part.
Wow, you just misgendered him. And I call him Bruce. I dead named him. But no offense, Bruce. I love you. I mean, I don't love anybody, right? But anyways.
I know. Me.
So, Kenny, interesting. Yeah, freedom.
Yeah,
freedom not to have
James,
to say the pretend pronoun.
Thank you for your service to the world. Keep up the good work.
You as well, Kenny. Take care.
All right.
All right. Let me get to Dawning Armor out of California. What's up, Dawning Armor?
Hey, how's it going, James?
Going fine.
Wonderful. Quick shout out to Sion, or I think that's how you pronounce it. But okay, so yesterday's show, you had a conversation with a caller, and I've heard you bring up this before. That it's a spiritual battle, and that race really doesn't matter, or it exists in the physical world, but that's not really the problem. It's a spiritual battle.
Right.
Do I have you right there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm kind of what is more likely? What is a more likely scenario that's going to get people to be more peaceful, to be more loving towards each other, their neighbors? each distinct group, homogenous societies have sovereignty over their own territory, and they can respect each other because they're genetically the same distinct group of people, or that we're going to convert the entire world of 7 billion people to be Christians, but not only Christians, they have to be Christians in the style of Jesse. I mean, it just seems
I know what you mean, man. No, for sure. I mean, I'm not for this diversity stuff. We should keep the white majority, and we should wake up people as much as we can. We need both. Let's talk more about this Sunday if you can, Donning Armor. I gotta end this.
No problem.
I appreciate you calling and waiting, though. Take care, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Wyatt, I'm sorry I can't get to you, but let me shout out to these. Blaze and Hog says, Earl, T, and Mays representing for Marcus and Do Right. Black Power. And Gail Manchester says, ha, 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 with the sticker. Thank you. The Hot Computer Smell says, the Unholy Trinity, Earl, T, and Mays calls today. Yeah, one after another. Soul Conscious, the mamas are coming out from both Earl and T today. Too funny. Lin Yan Chin, Mays is amazing. So too is whatever mental health facility permits her to call out from their establishment. Whoa. Shots fired. Earl and T are constipated in hate, he says. And David from Kentucky says, James, I met a lot of nice girls on the internet because of this virus. David, wow, congratulations, I guess. Not sure. Nice is sometimes evil. Usually it is, actually. But anyways, have fun. See you later today. Well, make sure that you check out The Fallen State. And then tomorrow, Bill Lockwood interviews Jesse Lee Peterson. At least the show comes out. And then, of course, my show Sunday morning, 9 a.m. And then Jesse Lee Peterson, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson, online only, is Sunday, 11 a.m. Los Angeles time, of course. Take care, guys.